I just got in the package from Dubia.com. I ended up ordering the 4x2x2 enclosure for our 2-year-old ball python. And I also got some moss, a big cork bark hide for her. This medium one she can slither through, this cool plant, this extra large reptile cave, and we can use that as a hide. I think maybe this would be better for a humid hide, as well as this day and night timer for the heating and lighting setup. The rest of that comes on Monday, so I'll continue to vlog that and then vlog the setup process of this so you can have a better idea of what it would look like if it's something that you're looking to do with your reptile. Did a lot of research and joined some groups on Facebook for reptile keeping for ball pythons and other animals similar who need a similar setup, and they were really helpful in the Facebook group, so I felt like it was time for us to upgrade and give her something much better so we can improve our husbandry. So we're gonna get it set up. My husband's about to get this opened up. He's just giving Blue some love. He just got off work. Daphne has gotten into some things probably she's not supposed to, so I'm gonna take this piece from her and we're gonna get started. Inside so far, the top is a mesh top, so pretty similar to most of the other aquariums. Looks like there's a bunch of these beams here. Just double checking the package to make sure that everything is intact and it's not broken. UPS works very hard, but sometimes throws things, so always want to double check. It looks like so far everything is okay.
Hey.
Another fun activity that we're gonna try is doing a DNA test on Daphne. So we went ahead and received the Wisdom Panel Complete for Cats DNA Collection Kit. It's the world's leading pet DNA service, and it was developed by veterinarians. On the back, there's some really easy instructions here. So you're just going to swab their mouth for about 15 seconds, activate the code that they give you on the inside of the product, and then they provide you with the shipping label and box, and you'll receive your results online. I did do the same test for Blue a couple months ago, and I can insert her results here so you have an idea of what it would look like. It does give a complete ancestry for the animal, and as well as any other lineage information, and some, if you upgrade for the health, it's also very interesting when you get to learn a little bit more about their genetics as well, and what the probability is for specific things that they mention in that. So we're going to go ahead and swab Daphne up, and as soon as I have the results for this Wisdom Panel test, I'll go ahead and post those, and we'll be able to learn a little bit more about her. Now, all I know is that she's a brown tabby. I'm not a cat fiend. I don't really know all the different breeds, so I just thought it'd be a fun activity to learn a little bit more about her, and if it comes back, you know, exactly what she looks like, okay, great, but I think it'd be kind of fun just to see if there's any other information that we can learn about her. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and you can purchase this from Petco, Amazon, any place like that. Okay, so it is pretty much finished. I just need to put the doors in and then mallet down the top. There is a video that gives an in-depth step-by-step on the process of putting together the enclosure, which was incredibly helpful. The printout directions that you can access on the website are kind of iffy and leaves out a little bit of detail, so I preferred watching the video. And got everything finished for now. This is all the stuff I'm going to work on. The lighting, the heating. I think I'm going to put the UVB strip on the inside and zip tie it so it hangs, just to get that going in there. So I think that's how I want to do it. I don't really want to set it on top of it. So I'll see how that goes. I did get a day and night timer for the halogen light. That's, if I'm saying that right. For the daytime lighting aspect of that, and the deep heat. Well, I didn't get deep heat. The deep heat emitter. I got the ceramic instead. So that's the halogen lamp. That's for daytime. Excuse me. And then this is the ceramic heat emitter. I went ahead and got this for the 24/7. The difference between them two, if you're unsure, because I finally started to understand this along this journey myself. This just has no light. It doesn't give off any light. It just gives off heat. So this can be on obviously 24/7. Your heat lamp, which is here, your halogen, can be your day like basking. So you can have this on for, the hours of the day out and have it turn off at night. And that just mimics kind of your sun, daylight, whatever. Your UVB, which is this strip here. I've got all these packages in today. So I went ahead with the Reptizoo HOT5 UVB lighting combo kit. It comes with the hood that you attach the bulb to. And I have some zip ties, so I'm going to use that to put this on hang it on the inside of it. But the UVB apparently is not necessary for their enclosure, but they do benefit from it. So I'm still learning more about that, but I've read that it really helps them with their activity levels, being able to penetrate the skin better when it comes to digestion, absorbing, UVB. I guess mimicking them being outside and in the sun directly is from my understanding. So maybe increasing their activity levels, being a little bit more lively, and I guess another way to put it, their mental health, being, happier, more, satisfied in their enclosure. So, not sure if you can see her. She's actually coming out right now, and she's just staring at me. She's probably like, what the hell are you doing? I did feed her today, so she did have a small rat. The place that I get them from, it was really small today, so I'll probably have to feed her another one in a week. So I do feed her live. I know that's viewed as a no-no, because of the dangers of the rats and what they can do to your snake, but she will not eat the pre-killed ones. I've already tried that, and I would try it again for sure. When the time comes around, I will more than likely try to go through that process again, but de-thawing them and using a hair dryer and stuff on them just seems like a lot of damn work. Like, just I don't know. I get it, but I feel like I haven't seen her have any trouble, even with the breeder. The breeder had suggested live as well, and that might be viewed unethical. I don't know. I don't necessarily disagree with I guess I get the point. I get the point of what can happen. But I'm careful. I make sure she eats it right away, and if something doesn't work out, I'll have it removed from the tank, and we'll go from there. But typically, like, as soon as it gets put in the tank, she's in it, and it's done. So, in 15 minutes, it is digested. So, this is the dual dome. This is for your lighting. So, I'm going to put the halogen heat lamp and my ceramic heat emitter bulb in there. And I have a diagram that I got from a group on Facebook on how to position this setup to make sure that it's, heating up the tank and hopefully we're going to be able to retain humidity and just be the best setup that it can be. course, I got some more hides, so I went ahead and got this extra large reptile cave. I think this will fit. This is the biggest one, so she's a big girl. She's about 4.5 feet. It's not big to some people, but I think she can fit in there. So I'll give that a shot. If this doesn't end up working out, I'll give it to my dad. He's got a smaller, younger, juvenile ball python. I did get this medium-sized one that we'll put somewhere, maybe set it up to give her more of a challenge of going through, but she can't hurt herself or anything. But I didn't really want a huge one in there. But I also got this big cork bark that I'll set up somewhere where she can climb through. I think that'll be really good when she's in shed and she needs to rub up on something a little bit more coarse to help with the shedding. I think that would be a good add-in. I did get this enormous plant, like a jungle plant. I feel like I want another one. Want to add more plants, but I love this look. I think it's pretty. But I'm just trying to figure out, like, how do I want my enclosure to look? The design of it and everything. Not that she really cares as long as it has everything she needs to thrive. I did get some terrarium moss to help with the humidity and shedding, as you can see on the packaging here. I'm going to mix that in probably with her cypress that I use in her enclosure. And I will, she's right there. I'll use that to kind of help with the humidity. And I'll probably stick it in different places as well to kind of help out. Just mimicking, their natural environment as best as you can. They're from Africa, so you kind of have to, you have to do this stuff in order for them to, be happy and thrive. So we're going to get this stuff done, and I will definitely check back in with you guys with the final result of everything. She ate today, so probably for another 2 or 3 days while I'm working on this setup and figuring out how I want everything placed, and making I'll probably have to determine if I need to use any aquarium silicone to seal anywhere. I don't think so. I might. I read somewhere on the group that I'm on Facebook, which I'll gladly share as well in the links below, about that, because they give a lot of really useful information. This is a pretty big enclosure. I have a 55-gallon terrarium here, and it's this is a little longer, when it comes to length, but definitely in width. Oh yeah, it's a lot more space. I believe it'll still fit on my little cube set that I have there, and I'm kind of determined if I want to get another stand with the cubes and then move it this way, because we're looking to get maybe one of those lily white rustic geckos as well in the future, or possibly something else. So I want to have the space and kind of keep this maybe like the pet room or pet reptile room. Just kind of have all their stuff in here, all the Blues training equipment, and okay, all right, itchy. The cat stuff, like any cat equipment, supplies and things like that we use for the animals. Keep it all in this set room, make it a little bit more organized. So, but other than that, so this is from Dubia.com, DubiaRoaches.com. They sell a lot of different supplies for a lot of different reptiles. I think that the enclosure is pretty decent. Is it the most heavy-duty quality? No. I'm sure for the price that you'd be paying a lot more for a more heavy-duty enclosure. I think as long as it's secure, which I'm not quite finished with everything yet, but I just wanted to show you pretty much what it will look like when it comes to size and the setup. I do want to just kind of probably proof it a little bit to make sure there isn't any possibilities of escaping. I do not want that to happen in my house with Medusa, because she is I really don't know how she would be with my other animals. I don't test that. I know some people do, but I probably won't do that. I just feel like it's not the smartest. I just don't think that's the smartest thing to do. So, I would like to make sure that she stays in the enclosure and not get out. But other than that, I do like it. I think, was it worth the price? Kind of. I think that if it was a little cheaper, I'd feel a little bit better about it. I think the sides of it, here on the inside, it's like some really cheap particle board. I really don't know how to explain it. It did tear a little bit when I was trying to put it down a slot. I hope that doesn't affect it in any way. Other than that, like, it was pretty easy to put together. It wasn't a difficult project, so I would say overall it's probably your best bang for your buck because these enclosures are very expensive. A minimum is going to be $5 for anything decent for these animals. These animals need big enclosures to thrive and be their best selves, be happy, and living in tiny tanks like that is not normal. And any breeder who tells you that, that's not fair, and that's not how it would be in the wild. And them rolling up in a ball constantly 24/7, I don't really think is normal, because that's just because they're surviving in a tank setup doesn't mean that they're thriving and that they're healthy and happy. So you want to take that into consideration when you take on one of these reptiles, because they do grow and they get pretty big. So, you wouldn't want to be in a tiny little room your entire life. So kind of have to put it in perspective, as well as your handling. And handling is something that I need to continue working on myself as well. This is new to me also, but I've been doing a lot of research. So what I learn, I will share here. So because, if there's any beginners out there that are kind of in the same predicament as me, with trying to understand how to go about everything and set them up for success, you found the right place. So I will absolutely share everything that I've been able to do here and what the result was. So I'll check back in with you guys once this setup is finished and it's up there and it's good to go. But for now, she has to digest that food anyway, so I'm going to take a break. I was sweating after some point because malleting and using the mallet to hit the post down, that was probably the hardest part. It wasn't a difficult project, like I said, but you had to really hit that thing to get it down so nice and secure, so I was sweating. So I was like, oh my gosh. So I am done for now. I like to take a break. I'm going to work on my iPad and my laptop doing some homework for this evening, and I will check back in with you guys when I have an update on the enclosure. So I will talk to you guys soon. Alright, so we know the enclosure's put together, so I set up some lighting and heat. I have to change the outlets where it's at, but ideally this is going to be the basking light. And this is the deep, the ceramic heat emitter, which is 24/7 heat, just no light. That is a UVB light strip. I wanted to mount it on the inside, but it was very difficult, and I can just do that later at some point. My thermostat probe, the thermometer's here. It has to heat back up because I just put everything in here. So the probe is underneath all this substrate. I don't know, maybe this is a 1.5 inch, 2 inch of cypress that I put down. I want her to be able to burrow in the cypress, so I'm just kind of making sure there's enough in there, because this is just such a much bigger enclosure. I don't want it to be too thin, because then it's like you slightly move it. I saw the bottom of it earlier, so I was like, I just want to put a little bit more in there. So substrate's in. Next I'm just going to be adding in the water dish. I'm actually going to use one of Blue's water dishes. It's a ceramic. This is a Halloween one. So I was thinking of just using this for now, and then if I need a wider one for her body, I don't know, maybe not. But this might work. You want their whole body to be able to submerge. So that's a big tip when you're picking out a bowl. So ideally, dog bowls work really well. I heard guinea pigs have really good bowls, rabbits, in the pet stores, in the sections. They're cheaper to buy it from that section specifically instead of the reptile section. That's really big. It's all about just marketing, so you can use any type of bowl really, as long as it's big enough for them to, submerge in, and it's safe to be under this heat and lighting. And you obviously want to change it very frequently as well. So we're going to go ahead, I think I'm going to put it in the cool section back here and start with some of my plants. So I will be back. Added some foliage and some hide. So on this side, this is where the basking and the majority of the heat source is going to be on. So you need to have a hot side and a cool side. I think the UVB strip is good where it's at. I don't know if it really matters. I'll have to double check that, but her humid hide, I painted that with her name on it. I am going to get her a new one probably soon because I just want it to be more aesthetically pleasing in here. But we're going to start with this. I did put this little rope thing up. She doesn't have to, I want to make sure she has something to climb because I don't seem to have too much enrichment. I know you're supposed to have a lot more than this from what I've seen from very experienced reptile keepers. I set the branch up on the cork bark right here that she can climb through or slither around, at least there. And then her cool area can be over here. Added some branches. I have one other jungle plant that I'm going to add, and I'm going to decide either I'm going to just like kind of like, I don't know, like, you know, kind of let it go that way, maybe like or hang down in the middle. Not quite sure, so I'm going to finish that up. And then I do need to fix the plug on one of them for the setting for the heat. And I will go from there. So I'll check back in with you guys. So this is where we're at so far. All right, here we are. I think this is probably going to be the best that I can get it today. I can absolutely play with it more as we go. If I get some cooler hides for her, some more enrichment. That pretty much made it really like mossy over there, a bunch of leaves. Probably needs something else, but until then, we'll start here. Again, this is the Dubia Roaches 4x2x2 enclosure for a female adult ball python. This would need to be the minimum. Typically for females, because they do get bigger than males, you would want them in a 6x2x2 if you're able to, but a 4x2x2, which is what I went with, it's just going to have to work. This is much bigger than what she was in before, and she definitely needed this necessary upgrade, so I hope that she's going to be happy when I set her in here. She's been shedding for a couple weeks now, and it's like on and off. And I just soaked her a little bit, and I think she's over it, so I'm going to set her in here and then leave her be for a good little week or so, and go from there. You know, we'll see how everything turns out. So thanks so much for watching. If you have any suggestions, tips, or advice on anything else that I should do with this enclosure, anything to do with humidity, heating, lighting, any of that, please comment down below. I'd appreciate it. I love learning, and I just want to make sure I provide the best that I can for her, because I love my animals. So thanks again for watching, and appreciate it. Please subscribe to the channel and like this video and share it with your friends. And till next time, thanks so much. Bye guys.